The big game is fast approaching, but wait, you still haven't got your tickets. You've spent hours searching, but you're still confused about ticket prices. Time to stop searching. Visit ticketcompare.com. We compare ticket prices for all the popular leagues and tournaments for you. We work only with the most trustworthy sites, so you can have peace of mind when buying your tickets. Compare prices, buy tickets, get to the game. Ticketcompare.com. Buying tickets made simple.
John, Fraser, kick us off. Good afternoon, you well?
Yes, and you?
Very good, thank you.
All of you? All of us. I don't know.
How are things as far as the injury situation is concerned for the squad?
Yeah, Phil is not available. Yes. With the rest, it's will be close. So Ginny, not sure. We have to see. It's painful what he has, but maybe he can cope with it. We have to see it. Who else had Dejan? Yes, maybe today is the clearing session. And then we know that in weeks like this you have to wait until the last second to make the squad or the lineup. So that's how it is this week again, and so that should be, I think, all. Is it? Yeah. Oh yes. Oh, sorry. The long term. Yes. Sadio trained yesterday, right? First time with the team is that looked really, really good. Yeah. We'll see what we do with that. Yes, it looks like he's ready for at least 20-25 minutes, but we have to wait how his body reacts on the session from yesterday. For him, it was, of course, pretty intense. Not because it was intense, no, because it was his first football session for a long time. But he did really well. So obviously, he didn't misplay his abilities and his skills in the injury break. So that's good. Yes, Adam is close, but didn't train so far with the team. So he will start next week. That's good. And then hopefully he can have 2 proper training weeks, and then he will be available. I think so.
At the same time, while you've got these problems going on, we've seen quite a lot of Daniel Sturridge recently, which is great for him. Are you feeling that he's at the sort of stage now where you're confident his fitness is going to get him a long run in the side and maybe starting games more often?
I like Daniel, but I don't understand why do we talk about like this about all the other players too, or what? That's he's available. He's in good shape. He scored a goal. He always, when he is in or coming on, then he has a big impact. That's because of his quality. There's no fitness doubt or anything. How it always is with the lineup. The lineup depends to what is necessary against the other team. We cannot ignore the other team. So only to say that. So yes, Daniel is. I always think about him, to be honest, and so he is 100% fit. No problems. So good for us.
Are you aware of any developments at all as far as Emre Can's contract is concerned? There were some reports saying that he might hit a stalemate or hit a bit of a brick wall, and they're not going any further. Are you aware of anything happening as far as that's concerned?
No, that's nothing new. No news, I would say. So that's how it is. I said it a few times. There's no problem to repeat it. I'll say it again. It's our job to make this club as exciting as possible. So that's how it is. And to sign a contract, it's also allowed to sign a contract in May, even with a player who's still already here. So I have no problem with that. As I said a lot of times, as long as Emre doesn't give me one sign that his mind is somewhere else, I don't have to talk about this. That's a normal thing in football, and so everything is okay for myself, but nothing new.
Mandy?
Jurgen, have you been surprised at West Ham struggling a bit in the league this season?
Not sure if they're really struggling. No, they have not that many points, but in the last few weeks they had good results. But because maybe of the results in the beginning of the season, it doesn't look like that. But it's not interesting for us how they started. It's much more interesting how they played recently, and they had good results. They were really good against Tottenham. They could have been in the lead already when Tottenham was 2-0 up. Okay, Tottenham had an intense game in their legs from a few days before. But we respect them a lot, and so we know who we will face. And so no, I'm not. Was I surprised about the start? I didn't think too much about it, to be 100% honest. But when we now analyze was about the last 3 or 4 games which we did, and so they were good, really good. And the last game, I think everybody saw it, how they conceded the equalizer. Okay, Crystal Palace could have scored in other moments, but as well. But yeah, they were close to win that game, and that would have changed probably the situation completely. Now it's a home game again for them, so they will be on a high motivation level. That's what we will be, and so it's an interesting game.
You're unbeaten at Anfield, but you've only won 1 Premier League game away from home. How much does that concern you?
Not too much, to be honest. I've never made difference between that. I'm happy that we can, that we really have this record at home. But of course, if you want to be really successful, you cannot fly or drive to other cities and leave the points there. But we were in most of the games. We were on a really good way, and 2 of the away games were our big defeats against City and Tottenham. So I think a few other teams will lose there as well. So that's not. I'm not too concerned. But of course, it's already the past. So in the future, we should really take 3 points as often as possible in other stadiums. So that's for sure the aim for that week.
Julia.
Jurgen, you said a couple of weeks ago about Sadio, you had no concerns if he was fit, he could go off with and play on international duty. Is that still the same? You've just got him back and he's fresh, and then you're going to lose him for a couple of weeks?
Yeah, but things are like they are. We cannot change that. So we cannot sit here and ignore the situation of Senegal and say, yeah, we don't care if they play the World Cup. Well, that's not nice, and it's not right. So we tried to get in contact with Senegal FA, or we are, and so they have 2 games to play. So that's one thing. If Sadio is not injured anymore, is he 100% fit? That's different. That's in a good way, and yesterday it looks really good. We have to see what we do. If you see Sadio training, it's all like, hey, okay, maybe we can use him. And that's the same for Senegal. So if he goes there, he has a few days training. He has to go there. So and then he has a few days training. And if they can get the point they need, then maybe we can talk again and ask them for, is it necessary to play the second game again so he could come back? Then that would be the ideal situation. But we cannot decide it. It's the FIFA doesn't give us, the clubs, the opportunity to say you decide when they play for their countries. There are clear rules. We respect them. And in this specific case, if he plays, it's good for his rhythm. Do I want to? I have no problem with our players playing for the national team. It's only that we need to know as much as possible about the circumstances, what they do in training, stuff like this, because that's very really important for us. The games are always on different pitches, obviously, different surface, but then the intensities they are similar. But training is different, and that's what we want. What I would love to have more influence in the future. Not that I will tell them all how they have to train, no, but only to know about that we can react with it. That's in Europe easier, to be honest. That's how it is. But it's no problem again. If Sadio can play, I really think he should play, because it's good to get some rhythm. Otherwise, he would not have played for I don't know how many weeks, with 2 interruptions, with the red card, then the injury. And then we play Southampton, so it would be nice if he could be in kind of a rhythm. And the injury risk is always there, even in training. We cannot avoid that. So I have no problem with him going to Senegal or I think South Africa. They played the first game, not 100% sure. And that's. But then maybe we can talk again.
James?
On a similar theme on internationals, what do you make of call-ups for Joe Gomez and Alberto Moreno?
Nice, eh? So. It's always like this. It's yesterday we heard about Alberto we heard this morning. Joe Gomez we heard yesterday. We were really happy, and then we heard in the same moment Dennis Sturridge and Oxlade-Chamberlain are not in. So that's not you cannot celebrate the one thing and the other things are close. So it's not, again, it's not our decision, but if Gareth Southgate saw the last few games, I think for sure he could have invited all three of them. But Joe deserved it. He's a wonderful young player, made big steps in the last few weeks. So yes, he's ready for this. That's no problem. And with Alberto, that's really nice. That's really nice. He deserved it as well. And I think it's quite difficult to get a call from the Spanish national team. They have not a lot of weaknesses, I would say, and they have not a lot of problems on the left back side. So obviously they watched it, and he was so far really consistent in this season. And it's nice, really nice.
Just one more. Will you be having a designated penalty taker this week?
Yeah, we have still to talk about it. We had, actually, before the last two games. That didn't work. Maybe we should leave the question open, and who feels best should use it. But I really understand. That's a big story. But it's in the past is not to change, and we never try to get penalties, but when we have them, we will score from the penalty spot in the future, 100%. But it's we only have to make sure that it's not getting this kind of story all over the season, because it's a good opportunity actually to score when you have a penalty, and the boys are all able to do it. And as I said, Milli's penalty was really, really good, but it was a brilliant save. That's That's something we have to respect as well.
Just go on the England selections. One of the reasons Gareth said that he didn't pick Daniel or Alex was that because they weren't playing regularly, they couldn't perform at their very best when they come to the England squad. But what you said about Daniel at the top press conference would suggest that you don't agree that that's the case. He already played.
Well, Gareth makes the decisions. I cannot change that. I would say both of them would play in other in other Premier League teams quite regularly. If we make it now like this, it could be difficult. In the future, if he sticks to this plan, 100%, not for us, for a lot of, and for maybe for England. So it's how it is. I don't make these decisions. I cannot change it. I really Daniel had here a few injury problems, and they always called him up, and because he is still the striker everybody thinks about when you think about him, after a long period with interruption in getting fit and stuff like this, but it's now already a long time. If he thinks he doesn't need him, I cannot change it. And Ox is coming in a new club, and that needs always time to adapt. I think he made big steps since he's here, really. But again, I cannot call him and say, please, call him up. So obviously not possible. And I'm not sure what he said, because he didn't speak to me about it. No, I heard it from the press, how it was, nothing else.
And just go back on the next one. You said that Emre's contract, you said it's okay, he can sign a contract in May, but he can also sign an agreement with European clubs in January. So is that not a concern?
No. That's then part of football as well. So that if it happens like this, we can't change it. If we try, if there's a player out there and with an ending contract in next summer, and he's good, what Emre obviously is, then we should try to do the same. So that's an opportunity for all of us. It's only one specific case. So what could I do now? I could now say, yes, it's a big problem, but it isn't. But I could say it's a big problem, we have to sort this now. I put pressure on the player, put pressure on the club. People are not concerned anymore, then they are angry. That makes absolutely no sense. We have to respect even an ending contract. It's like it is. So if a contract ends, there are two sides who could have done differently. One of them is the club, and the other side is the player. And now we talk too much about it. It's just a normal situation.
Anything from you? Can just ask how Nathaniel Klein's getting on and whether there's anything else?
Yeah, not that good. So he was on a good way, then had a little setback. Well, we are on it. So that's how our back problems, I would say, are. Probably a problem most of the people had, maybe not you, you are too young, but when you get a little bit older, then you will see the back is a really weak part of your body. And that means we all know how that can just take a long time, and we have to make him 100% ready. And that's what he is not in the moment. It's not the best thing, especially not for him. But we are on it. We showed him to specialists all over the world, and it's not a big problem. It just needs time. That's all.
It's Glenn's birthday today, by the way.
Oh, how old now?
23.
Back problem with 23. You finished. I had when I until 21 or something when I was still growing. So you're not growing anymore, right?
Let's move it on. Anything from you, Mel? Or no? Okay, I think that's us. Thank you very much. Happy birthday, Glenn.
Yeah, happy birthday.
We'll go into room 1.
By the way, the 24th is then again.
Ah, come on.
Thank you.
Bye bye.